The arrival. Admiral Vex stood on the command deck of the inevitable Conquest, flagship of the Xanthi Empire's 7th expansion fleet. His 4 eyes narrowed as he studied the blue-green planet displayed on the main view screen. The small world hung against the blackness of space, peaceful and seemingly insignificant, a perfect target. "Report," Vex ordered, his dual-toned voice reverberating through the bridge. His exoskeleton clicked softly as he shifted his weight, anticipation building within him. Science Officer Krell stepped forward, her translucent data tablet glowing with information collected over months of covered observation. "The planet is designated Earth by its inhabitants. Admiral. Species, human. Pre-FTL civilization with minimal orbital presence. They've achieved nuclear fission and basic spaceflight, but their technology is at least 3 centuries behind Imperial standards." Vex's mouth parts twitched in what passed for a smile among the Xanthi. "Defenses. Primitive," Krell continued. "Nuclear missiles, kinetic weaponry, some rudimentary energy weapons in experimental stages. Their most advanced aircraft would be no match for even our scout ships. Their orbital assets consist of communication satellites, a small habitat station, and various debris. No significant military presence in space." Commander Zor, Vex's second-in-command, joined them at the tactical display. "Our scans detect numerous military installations across the planet's surface, but they're fragmented. The world is divided into approximately 200 sovereign territories, each with their own defense systems. No unified command structure." "Typical," Vex said dismissively. "Another squabbling pre-unity species. How many conquests does this make for the Empire now?" 327. 329, Admiral, Zor corrected. "You're forgetting the Belveran and Tellurit systems." "Ah, yes." Vex waved a limb carelessly. "They hardly put up enough resistance to remember. This will be no different." The Xanthi Empire had expanded across nearly a quarter of the galaxy through a simple and effective strategy. Identify developing worlds, overwhelm them with superior technology, and incorporate their resources into the Empire. Resistance was futile and brief. Pre-FTL civilizations simply had no effective defense against a spacefaring empire. "Begin standard intimidation protocol," Vex ordered. "Position battle cruisers above their major population centers. Let's show them our power." The bridge crew executed the commands with practiced efficiency. 20 massive Xanthi warships, each nearly the size of a small moon, broke formation and descended toward Earth's atmosphere, taking position above cities like New York, Beijing, London, Moscow, Tokyo, and other strategic locations. "Broadcast the standard ultimatum on all their communication frequencies," Vex instructed. "Give them 6 hours to surrender or face extinction." As the message transmitted to Earth in all human languages, Vex settled back in his command chair. These conquests had become routine to the point of boredom. The pattern was always the same: initial defiance followed by panic, then inevitable surrender when the primitives realized the futility of resistance. "Prepare landing forces," he told Commander Zor. "We'll begin resource assessment as soon as they capitulate, and have the engineers identify proper locations for our first processing facilities." On Earth, chaos erupted as the massive alien ships appeared in skies worldwide. Each vessel cast vast shadows over major cities, hovering silently and ominously. Civilians fled in panic, traffic jammed highways leading out of metropolitan areas, and military forces scrambled into defensive positions. In a nondescript office building in Geneva, Switzerland, Dr. Maya Rodriguez raced through crowded corridors. As director of the United Nations Office for Space Security, she had prepared for this moment, though she had prayed it would never come. "Status report," she demanded as she burst into the Crisis Command Center. Screens display the alien ships positioned over cities worldwide, news footage showing the growing panic, and military units mobilizing across the globe. Lieutenant Jackson looked up from his communications station. Director, they're broadcasting a message on all frequencies in every language. Put it on, Maya ordered. The main screen switched to display an alien figure, tall and insectoid with 4 glowing eyes and a chitinous exoskeleton. The message was simple and chilling. People of Earth, your planet is now under the authority of the Xanthi Empire. You have 6 hours to surrender your governments and military forces. Resistance will result in planetary bombardment. This is not negotiable. The room fell silent as the message ended. General Wei, chairman of the Joint Global Defense Initiative, slammed his fist on the conference table. We need to launch everything we have. Nuclear deterrence, orbital platforms, the HFY system. No, Maya interrupted sharply. That's exactly what they expect. We follow the protocols we've established. General Wei's expression changed from anger to steely determination. You're right. Activate Project Hercules. Authorization code. Thermopylae. Maya turned to her chief of staff. Get me a secure line to all G20 leaders immediately. Priority Alpha. And prep the Olympus facility for full activation. As her staff scrambled to establish connections, Maya pulled General Wei aside. How ready are we? She asked quietly. As ready as we'll ever be, Wei replied. The question is whether it will be enough. Maya's mind flashed back to 15 years ago when everything had changed. She had been a young astrophysicist then, part of the team analyzing unusual signals detected by the Deep Space Array in New Mexico. What they discovered had altered human history forever. Proof of alien civilizations, and clear evidence that not all of them were friendly. The revelation had remained the most closely guarded secret in human history. While the public continued their lives unaware, world leaders had made an unprecedented decision to unite in secret against an existential threat. Director, we have the G20 on secure line, her assistant announced. Maya took a deep breath and activated the communication system. The faces of world leaders appeared on screens around her. Madam Director, I assume this is about our visitors, the President of the United States asked grimly. Yes, Mr. President. They call themselves the Xanthi Empire. They've given us 6 hours to surrender. And our response? Asked the Chinese premier. Maya exchanged glances with General Wei before responding. We activate Project Hercules immediately. All participating nations must confirm authorization now. One by one, the leaders gave their confirmation codes, a series of predetermined phrases that would activate their nation's components of Earth's secret defense system. Very well, Maya said once all authorizations were complete. We will proceed according to the Thundershield protocol. Please ensure your military commands follow the deception plan precisely. Make them believe we're panicking and divided. And what will you be doing, Dr. Rodriguez? Asked the German chancellor. Maya was already heading for the door. Saving humanity. A helicopter was waiting on the rooftop landing pad. As she climbed aboard with General Wei, Maya watched news footage on her tablet. Some people were fleeing. Some were praying. Some stood in fields with welcome signs, all of them unaware that for 15 years, humanity had been preparing for this exact scenario. The helicopter landed 30 minutes later at a ski resort in the Swiss Alps. As soon as Maya and Wei stepped out, armed guards emerged from concealed positions. Authorization. Rodriguez. Maya. Code. Thermopylae actual, she stated clearly. The guards nodded and escorted them to what appeared to be a maintenance building for the ski lifts. Inside, one guard placed his hand on a hidden scanner. The floor descended, revealing an elevator that plunged deep into the mountain. The doors opened onto a vast underground complex humming with activity. Scientists and military personnel from dozens of nations worked at monitoring stations, tracking global data. This facility, codenamed Olympus, was one of 7 similar installations built in secret around the world. Colonel Ishikawa, commander of the Hercules operational forces, met them as they exited the elevator. Director Rodriguez, General Wei, we've been monitoring Xanthi communications. Their encryption was exactly as our models predicted. How ready are we? Maya asked as they walked briskly through the facility. The Thunder network is at 96% capacity. All orbital platforms are active, but in stealth mode. Ground-based systems worldwide are online and standing by. They entered the main control center, a massive chamber with a holographic display of Earth at its center. Glowing red points indicated the positions of the Xanthi ships, while blue markers showed the hidden Thunder defense platforms. They've positioned themselves exactly where our threat assessment predicted, noted Colonel Ishikawa. They have no idea what awaits them. Maya approached the Central Command Station. Have all participating nations confirmed activation orders? A communications officer nodded. Yes, Director. All 37 nations have provided full authorization. Maya took a deep breath. This was the moment humanity had been preparing for since they discovered they weren't alone in the universe. How long until their ultimatum expires? Wei asked. 4 hours, 12 minutes, replied Colonel Ishikawa. Maya nodded. Then we have work to do. Let's show these Xanthi that they've made a serious miscalculation. She placed her palm on the main scanner. The display flashed a warning. Warning. Project Hercules activation sequence initiated. Once deployed, tactical advantage of Caesar Prize will be lost. FIRM. General Wei stood beside her. Are you certain, Director? Once launched, there's no turning back. Maya looked at the display showing the alien ships hovering over Earth's cities, threatening everything humanity had built. She thought of the arrogance of these invaders, so certain of their superiority that they hadn't bothered to look deeper, to question why Earth's defenses seemed so primitive. Her finger hovered over the confirmation button as she remembered the 15 years of secret preparation, the unprecedented global cooperation, and the incredible technological leaps humanity had made when faced with extinction. They think we're defenseless, she said quietly. Let's prove them wrong. The response. Admiral Vex watched with satisfaction as his fleet maintained position over Earth's major cities. The humans' primitive communication networks were filled with panicked chatter, military forces scrambling in disarray, and political leaders issuing contradictory statements. Admiral, we're intercepting their global communications, reported Communications Officer Draz. Their military forces are mobilizing, but with no coordination. Some leaders are calling for immediate surrender, others for resistance. Their largest nation is moving nuclear-armed submarines into launch positions. Vex clicked his mandibles in amusement. Predictable. They think their nuclear weapons might harm our ships. He gestured dismissively. Continue monitoring. When they surrender, I want immediate control of their global communication systems. Sir, Tactical Officer Mira interrupted. Our scanners are detecting unusual energy readings from Earth's orbital satellites. Vex turned his attention to the tactical display. What kind of readings? Uncertain, Admiral. They appear to be standard communication satellites, but the energy signatures are fluctuating. Vex frowned. Run a deeper scan. Could be malfunctions caused by our presence. Before Mira could respond, alarm signals blared across the bridge. Admiral. Mira shouted, suddenly urgent. Multiple energy signatures activating across Earth's surface and in orbit. These aren't consistent with their known technology levels. Vex straightened, all 4 eyes focusing on the tactical display as hundreds of new readings suddenly appeared. Impossible. Where did those come from? Our scouts have been monitoring this planet for years. On Earth, deep within the Olympus facility, Maya Rodriguez pressed the confirmation button. Around the world, hidden systems began to power up. What appeared to be ordinary weather satellites shed their disguising panels, revealing advanced weapon platforms. Telecommunication towers extended concealed energy projectors. Underwater research stations activated shield generators. Thunder network activating, announced Colonel Ishikawa. All systems online. Targeting solutions acquired. The holographic display showed the blue defense network lighting up around the planet, encompassing the red Xanthi ships in a three-dimensional web. Phase 1 initiated. General Wei confirmed. Deploying EMP disruptors. Maya watched as the first wave of Earth's defenses activated. For 15 years, humanity had been preparing in secret. The discovery of the Arcturus signal had changed everything. When scientists detected and decoded the alien transmission, they found a warning. The Xanthi Empire was expanding, conquering developing worlds across the galaxy. Rather than announcing this discovery to the public, world leaders made an unprecedented decision. Unite in secret, pool resources, and develop defensive technology to counter the anticipated invasion. The result was Project Hercules, humanity's hidden shield. On the inevitable conquest, chaos erupted as systems began failing across the Xanthi fleet. "Admiral, our shields are weakening," Mira shouted. "Something is interfering with the energy modulation." "Impossible," Vex roared. "Their technology is primitive. They can't possibly." "Sir, look." Commander Zor pointed to the view screen. What had appeared to be ordinary Earth satellites were transforming, unfolding into complex weapon platforms. Commercial space stations were revealing hidden military components. Even the debris field was changing, segments connecting to form a defensive grid. "They deceived us," Vex whispered in shock. Their primitive appearance was deliberate. In the Olympus facility, Maya gave the next command: initiate Phase 2, targeting weapons systems only. Colonel Ishikawa relayed the order. All Thunder platforms, execute targeting protocol Echo 3. Precision strikes on weapons systems only. Around the world, the hidden defense platforms fired simultaneously. Beams of concentrated energy sliced through the suddenly vulnerable Xanthi shields, striking with surgical precision at weapons emplacements on the massive ships. Aboard the inevitable Conquest, Vex staggered as the ship shuddered under the assault. "Primary weapons offline," Mira reported, panic in her voice. "Secondary batteries not responding. Shields at 40% and failing." "Return fire," Vex commanded. "Target their defense platforms." "We can't get a lock, sir. Their systems are using some kind of quantum fluctuation we've never seen before." Vex slammed a limb against his command console. "Launch fighters. All ships, deploy combat squadrons." The Xanthi vessels released swarms of smaller craft, thousands of fighter ships descending toward Earth's atmosphere. In Olympus, General Wei observed the response with grim satisfaction. "They're deploying fighters." As predicted. Phase 3, Maya ordered. "Activate Atlas defense grid." Colonel Ishikawa nodded. Atlas grid coming online. Around the world, what appeared to be ordinary air defense systems suddenly transformed. Missile batteries shifted configuration, radar installations unfolded concealed components, and civilian defense towers revealed hidden weapons. As the Xanthi fighters entered Earth's atmosphere, they were met with a devastating web of energy beams, intercept missiles, and electromagnetic pulses. Fighters began falling from the sky by the hundreds. The holographic display in Olympus showed the Xanthi fighter squadrons diminishing rapidly. Nearly 70% were neutralized within the first 2 minutes. "How is this possible?" Commander Zor demanded as reports of massive fighter losses flooded in. "These humans should barely be able to detect our ships, let alone shoot them down with such precision." Admiral Vex watched in disbelief as his invasion force was being systematically dismantled. Status report. All ships. The reports were grim. Across the Xanthi fleet, weapons systems were disabled. Fighter squadrons were decimated. Shield generators were failing. 15 years ago, Maya explained to her command staff as they watched the battle unfold. "When we detected the Arcturus signal, we knew we needed to prepare. But we also knew that if the Xanthi detected advanced defensive technology, they would change their approach. Our only advantage was surprise." She gestured to the holographic display showing the Thunder network engaging the Xanthi ships. "So we created the greatest deception in human history. while publicly maintaining a technological profile consistent with a pre-FTL civilization. We secretly developed the Thunder Defense Network. Dr. Eliza Chen, the chief scientist of Project Hercules, nodded. The breakthrough came when we created quantum-entangled shield disruptors. By studying the principles of the Arcturus signal, we determined the likely frequency patterns of Xanthi shield technology. We built our entire defense strategy around the concept of appearing weaker than we are, General Wei added. The Xanthi rely on overwhelming technological superiority. Take that away. On the view screen, another Xanthi cruiser was desperately trying to break orbit as its engines sputtered and it failed. Phase 4, Maya ordered. Disable their propulsion systems. The Thunder platforms adjusted their targeting parameters. Precision strikes hit engine emplacements across the Xanthi fleet. One by one, the massive ships lost maneuverability, trapped in Earth's orbit. Admiral Vex watched in horror as his mighty invasion fleet was reduced to floating hulks. "This is impossible," he muttered. "A pre-FTL civilization cannot defeat a Xanthi expansion fleet." "Sir," Commander Zor reported gravely, 19 of our 20 ships are combat ineffective. We've lost 94% of our fighter force. Communications with the Empire are being jammed. Vex stared at the tactical display. Less than 5 minutes had passed since the humans activated their hidden defenses. In those few minutes, his invincible fleet had been crippled. "Admiral," Communications Officer Draz announced, "we're receiving a transmission from Earth." Vex's mandibles tightened. "Put it through." The view screen displayed a human female, her expression calm and resolute. "This is Dr. Maya Rodriguez, representing the United Earth Defense Authority. Your invasion has failed. Admiral, your weapons are disabled. Your fighters are destroyed. Your engines are offline. You have 2 options: surrender or be destroyed." Vex's exoskeleton clicked as he straightened to his full height. "The Xanthi Empire does not surrender to primitives." "Then you haven't been paying attention," Maya replied evenly. "We are not primitives. We detected your scout transmissions 15 years ago. We've been preparing for you ever since." Vex's 4 eyes widened in shock. "The Arcturus signal. You intercepted it and decoded it," Maya confirmed. "We knew you were coming, Admiral. We knew how you operated, how you targeted developing worlds that appeared defenseless. So we gave you exactly what you expected to see while building our real defenses in secret." She leaned forward slightly. "You have 30 minutes to surrender your forces. After that, we will be forced to destroy your remaining ships." The transmission ended, leaving the bridge of the inevitable Conquest in stunned silence. "Options?" Vex asked quietly. Commander Zor reviewed the damage reports flooding his console. "Admiral, we have no options. Weapons disabled, engines offline, fighters destroyed. Even if we could restore some systems, their defensive grid surrounds us completely." Vex slumped in his command chair. Centuries of Xanthi military doctrine had never prepared him for this scenario. A seemingly primitive world with hidden advanced technology, capable of defeating a full expansion fleet in minutes. "Send the surrender signal," he ordered, his dual-tone voice barely audible. In the Olympus facility, the command staff erupted in cheers as the Xanthi surrender signal was received and verified. "All Thunder platforms maintain targeting solutions but hold fire," Colonel Ishikawa ordered. "Deploy containment teams to secure Xanthi vessels." Maya turned to General Wei, a mixture of relief and determination in her eyes. "This is just the beginning. The Xanthi Empire will send more ships when they lose contact with this fleet." We nodded grimly. "But next time, we'll be ready, and they'll know we're not defenseless." The holographic display showed the disabled Xanthi ships surrounded by Earth's defense platforms. The battle, if it could even be called that, had lasted less than 5 minutes. 3 days later, Admiral Vex stood before a council of human leaders in the United Nations headquarters in Geneva. His towering insectoid form, once imposing, now seemed diminished under the circumstances. "The terms of your surrender have been accepted," announced Maya. "Your crews will be treated according to our established humanitarian protocols. Your technology will be studied, and you will provide us with detailed information about the Xanthi Empire." Vex clicked his mandibles in resignation. "You have defeated the mightiest fleet in the Xanthi Empire, a feat unprecedented in our 1,000-year history of conquest." "We didn't want war, Admiral," Maya replied, "but we were prepared for it." General Wei stepped forward. "You will transmit a message to your empire. Earth is not open for conquest. Any future aggression will be met with the same response." Vex studied the humans before him. In all his centuries of service to the Empire, he had never encountered a species like this, capable of such foresight, such unity of purpose when threatened. "There is something you should understand," he said finally. "The Xanthi are not the only expansionist power in the galaxy. Others will come." Maya and Wei exchanged glances. "We're counting on it," Maya said, "which is why you're going to tell us everything you know about them." As Vex was escorted from the chamber, Maya turned to the assembled world leaders. "The Battle of Earth has been won, but our work is just beginning. Project Hercules was designed as a defensive system. Now we must look to the stars." On screens worldwide, the first public announcement about the alien invasion was broadcast. The panic and fear that had gripped humanity for 3 days transformed into astonishment, then pride as people learned how their world had united in secret to create an impenetrable defense. In orbit, Earth's now revealed Thunder platforms maintained their vigilant watch as engineers began examining the captured Xanthi vessels. The knowledge gained would accelerate human technological development by centuries. Maya stood at the window of her office, looking up at the night sky. Among those stars were other civilizations, some friendly, some hostile. But they would all soon learn an important lesson. Earth was not defenseless. Humanity would not be conquered. And anyone who thought otherwise wouldn't last 5 minutes.